What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to go over the Filipino currency and coins that after I processed them and listed each one individually, some of you wanted to see what the end results were. So to go back to the other video, I spent about 46 bucks from a trusted seller. A guy lives in Indiana. He's a state away from me. And I always like buying stuff from him. He, for whatever reason, always does it on auction, but wanted to show you the end results of, okay, how did I take the $46 and how did I individually list each individual coin and piece of currency. So I go into my store here. I sell a lot of stuff on eBay. Mainly recently, I've been concentrating on just stuff I have lying around the house. I still have about another 50 CDs to list this week. And once that's all actually listed and I get a little more organized, I will be making a trip to my local coin shop to pick up shiny B Morgans. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about basically showing you how I process the items. So we're going to go to each individual listing just to kind of show you and also give you, if you have stuff like this and you no longer care about it, but you want to get some money for it, you're always going to get more money for it on eBay versus bringing it to a local coin shop, unless it's something generic that everybody wants. So in this case, Filipino currency from from World War II or prior. Not everyone's looking for that. So I believe eBay is the best place to sell it. So anyways, for all my currency, I've purchased these plastic holders for currency that like your normal US currency would fit in. And then world currency typically is a little bit bigger. In this case, this Filipino currency was also, I believe, produced by the US Mint or the Treasury. I think the Treasury is the one that produces the bills. I could be wrong, so correct me in the comments. But here is the 1936 that I listed. And with these, when they're kind of worn like this, you basically want to take photos of, kind of the corners, the serial number, the date, just get a little bit of close up. But most people on eBay will just take a picture of the front and the back, and that's it. I like to go a little step further. Again, it's like another 10 seconds of my time. So asking $8.95. I actually add up everything up, and I have $206 of retail worth of Filipino currency and coins from that initial $46 investment. So I'm happy with that. Again, I don't really lose money when I buy stuff at a good deal. Now, this particular 1958 set had no silver in it whatsoever. I did not realize until I took apart the 44 and the 45 set that this actually was packaged in the Philippines back in the day. So even though the US Mint made these coins for the Philippines, this actual item was set up, I guess, from Afrin Stamp Company from Manila. So I think that made it a little more valuable. Although honestly, when you just put cellophane on the front, so it wasn't plastic, at least from what I could tell. But I think these packages look like they were made like either in the 60s, possibly in the 50s, or in the late 70s. But to use colorized paper that has inks, acids, whatever, that sucks when the actual coin is made out of silver because it definitely reacts with it. So anyways, this 1958 set, 58 set had no silver in it whatsoever. These are all copper, nickel, or bronze. But all these coins I did not take out. So I just take real close-up pictures of it. And I saw comps for this type of set that is not in this type of holder. We're just talking like they'll put it in a capital holder or someone's like put their own set together. So they typically go for around 20 bucks. So I think I'm providing some value here where if someone actually wants like an original looking, this is how you got it from this stamp company back in the day, I think that's pretty cool. Although I would never recommend storing your coins like these long term. They're gonna tone terribly on the reverse. Anyways, so to get 20 bucks out of this is great. If these individual coins were listed themselves, they're probably worth $2 and nobody cares. So I think it's cool that it's all in a set. So it's a 50 cent, 25 cent, 10, nickel, and penny, or 1 cent. Sorry about these random Christmas things. I guess those are made in the Philippines, so that pops up. Here's one of the pesos. So this is an actual silver certificate, which I didn't realize that when I made my initial video, but these are called victory notes. So basically these were stamped victory after the United States liberated the Philippines. Unfortunately, the Philippines, and I have a lot of Filipino friends too. I grew up with a lot of Filipinos here in Glendale Heights, Illinois, where I grew up. Um, this country has been trashed, like totally trash. And if you're ever wondering, like, why do a lot of Filipinos have like Hispanic last names? Well, it's because the Spanish went there and basically took over and impregnated a lot of Filipinos back in the, like, way, way back in the day. So it is very common to have a Filipino friend or to find a Filipino here that lives in the United States, and they'll have a last name that is 100% Hispanic because the Spanish basically took them over and they all inherited their last names. So whatever their initial last names were, the Spanish changed it back in the day. So unfortunately, this country's been taken over many, many times, and they got punished when Japan was beaten on them during World War II. So it was liberation, as you would say, when the United States basically defended, and obviously we have air bases and stuff there as well. So this is a true silver certificate. I believe it was made, I definitely think this currency was made by the United States. And I could be wrong. Maybe the Philippines were not taken over by Japan. Maybe it was just heavily bombed. But again, you guys are history buffs. You can correct me in the comments. But regardless, something like this is cool. It's worth $6.95 retail on eBay. And again, I'm here to provide it for someone that is maybe even out of this country to purchase from me versus like you go in a local coin shop and you want something like this, chances are they don't carry it. So that's how you have to think. If you're going to sell stuff on eBay, you have to think of like, okay, how can I provide something of value to someone anywhere in the United States or worldwide that eBay allows you to sell to? So that's pretty cool to get to list that for $6.95. Here is the $2 currency bill that I thought was in a little bit nicer condition. I was pretty careful when putting these in, and oh, here I've got a jacked up photo. That's not good. So we're going to have to go in and correct that listing. And it is locked up, so that means someone is already interested in it. So anyways, I'll probably have to relist that and get the correct photo of the reverse. A lot of times, guys, what I'll do is I'll take pictures with my cell phone. I won't even go to my laptop, and I'll literally make the listing live all from my cell phone. So I'm not the one where I have a separate camera, take the memory stick out, put it in my laptop. It like, takes way too much time. So when I'm listing stuff straight from my cell phone, which I use as my camera, I'm able to get the listings up within 15, 20 seconds. So that's the other one, that's $6.95. So what I did with the silver coins, I did treat them with a, I didn't use I tried acetone, but I noticed like there was no, you really only use acetone on silver coins if you have glue or residue from tape on it. That'll do an excellent job of taking the residue or whatever off. But I simply, so this was the reverse. That reverse was completely trashed. So that, here's what it did. That colorized paper, the pink or yellow paper. Again, the reverse was sitting on raw paper, and the obverse, which is this guy here, had the cellophane or whatever, and could have been plastic, who knows. But it was all stapled in there. So this is what the coin looks like after treating it very, very nicely and gently through. I don't dip the coins. I'm not a big fan of dipping 75% silver coins, but this is after I clean them up a little bit. And again, they're not perfect BU coins. It's not something you want to send in to get graded. I just wanted them to look nicer, and this reverse was, you couldn't even tell what it was. Which you might be able to see in the prior video I posted of this. So this is what that one ended up being. Kind of a rare coin, so I think it is worth 20 bucks. And again, on eBay, if you have your coin that's not graded, $20 or less, you can get away with shipping with tracking for under $1. So that's how I list it. So here you can see 97 cents eBay standard envelope. So it's got to be a certain size envelope, and I've done a separate YouTube video on that as well. The next item here, this one I did not touch because the toning on it So this was the toning on the obverse, which I thought was beautiful. And with toned coins, when you're taking photos of it inside a light booth, the light booth really washes out any of the true color. So sometimes I'll take the coin not outside, but outside of my coin booth and use some of the yellow, orange, natural light. Well, I shouldn't say natural, but the lights that you have in your room, so natural room light, to kind of show some of the toning. So this coin itself is probably worth $10 if it wasn't toned like this, but toning is beautiful on this coin. And again, this is what the reverse looked like. Again, that was sitting on the yellow or orange ink paper, raw, like no cellophane in between it. So I had to take like a different angle to still show that, hey, this has beautiful detail. But when you just look at it like this, it looks trashed, right? So anyways, that's that coin. So 20 bucks listed for that. The nickels, or the 5-cent pieces, and both these sets were absolutely gorgeous, and they're not made of silver. So here is the reverse that was sitting on the paper, which had absolutely no flaws on it, because the copper nickel does not react with the paper like silver does. And here is the obverse. So these two 5-cent pieces, the 45 and the 44, are absolutely beautiful. Again, normally probably only be a $5 coin, but because of their condition, I would, this is something that someone can add to their collection or upgrade it. The 50-cent piece turned out really, really, really nice. This one was already nice. So here is the obverse here, and this is the reverse. Now the reverse does have some ink toning on it, and you can kind of tell too that that paper, or the chemicals in the paper, start actually eating away or creating like little pits and stuff in the coin, which sucks, right? Because I'm sure this coin should have, like, this obverse the reverse should look like the obverse, but because the reverse was sitting on that paper for many, many years, probably over 40 years, that's what it's going to do to a silver coin. So guys, if you have any coins that are not in collectible or like old school vintage collector pieces where the whole collection itself is worth more, and you don't want to store your coins in paper at all, like awful, awful, awful. That's what it'll do to a beautiful BU original coin. But anyways, the obverse on this is absolutely stunning. I think it's still worth every bit of $40. And you can kind of see too, like the United States Mint or San Francisco Mint, they were just churning these bad boys out. This was not a collectible coin at all. Like, look at all these die cracks and errors. Like, they didn't care. They're just stamping these things out. But the fact that they're using 75% silver back in 45 when these were made at the San Francisco Mint, I think is pretty cool when you think about it. The next piece here is a 10-cent piece. This, again, was a heavily toned coin, and the reverse was absolutely trashed. So this is the end result of what it looks like after cleaning that up a little bit. Again, very nice coin, Denver Mint. So it's pretty cool. They made San Francisco Denver Mint, and then the Philadelphia Mint made some of those as well. So all of our mints were helping out, or were stamping out world coins, which I thought was kind of cool. Here's the 20-cent piece from 1944. Again, this one was heavily toned and ugly. This is what this one ended up turning out to be. So again, nice looking coin. And here's the other 20-cent piece, which was in much nicer condition. So there's the obverse. Again, that was the part sitting on the cellophane. And unfortunately, this is what the reverse looks like after sitting on that colorized old school paper. It, again, you can see it eats away on the first layer finish of the coin. So when you have it stored properly, that's what an obverse looks like. And then when you have it sitting on paper, it turns it not very eye appealing. But still, $20 coin, pretty rare to find that. And last but not least is the 5-cent piece, the other 5-cent piece. Again, this is copper nickel. This is absolutely gorgeous, although there is a really big gouge here on his cheek. Looks like he's like smiling, or looks some like a kind of horror film type of dude. But again, this piece almost looks golden from the toning, but very, very cool coin. So again, add them all up, 260 after eBay fees and everything. I'll probably make easily over $100 once all these sell, but I'm not expecting this to sell in the next 90 days or 6 months. I mean, if any of you guys want to buy some of these, hey, I would appreciate it. That would be great. But these are very, very slow sellers. So you are not going to get rich on buying coins on eBay from from the Philippines that were made by the U.S. Mint. And, you know, they take a very long time to sell, but who cares, right? It's a cool way of me understanding some of the currency and the coins. So when I run across this stuff in the near future, that's how I learn, by not just buying, but I feel like you're more mentally invested if you actually do relist or actually end up listing each one individually. It allows you and forces you to do research on each coin to see what the market is getting for them, and also just enjoy the beauty of the currency and coins. I mean, again, it's all from World War II, except with minus the exception of this 58 and this 36 bill. I thought it was a really cool collection to basically drop 46 bucks into. Like I would do that over and over again and again, mainly to learn, but also just to appreciate the beauty of each coin. So hope you guys appreciate this video. Let me know in the comments if you've ever purchased Filipino currency or coins, or if this is something that's interesting to you, and hopefully you've learned something with this video, and I will catch you on the next one.